see your window. You should be, or your door should be live.
Hello, 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 crafty friends. Hello, crafty friends.
I know the volume's working.
Can you hear me out there? Hi, Brenda. Who else is out there? I know we got quite a few. Hello, hello. Can you hear me, Brenda? Oh, great. Let's switch over.
Okay, you want video?
Yep.
Alright. Picky.
Hi, Betty. Is Fiona with you today? Ah, here we go. We're live. We still have no picture-in-picture. It's still giving us a hard time. Hello, Sadie. Welcome, welcome. I couldn't find the edge of the envelope. Don't worry about me, guys. I'm perfectly confident. I can't get into the kit, but other than that, we should be just fine. Oh, we're just barely getting started, and I'm already embarrassing myself. Oh, yay! Still very hot. Brenda got hers hot from the mailbox. That's awesome. Well, grab it and let's open it up and see what we got in there. This is really a fun kit, guys. I say that about everyone, though, don't I?
Yes, you do.
That's because I think they're fun. Can't help myself. Okay, let's see what you get in this kit. You get approximately 4 yards of ribbon, and I'm telling you, this ribbon is just spectacular. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. Very, very pretty.
Katie and Kim have arrived.
Hello, Katie and Kim. And let's see. Oh, Fiona couldn't be with us today, but she will be here next time. Oh, good. So excited. On Thursday, she'll share her project. Yay. I like that idea. Perfect, perfect. In our kit, besides our absolutely drop-dead gorgeous ribbon, you should have 3 little rhinestones. Hello, Patricia. Welcome, welcome. Pat from Florida. We have our card bases. You should have 2 5x7s, which we do. And you should have 4. Can you believe we got, 3. 3 A6s, which we do. We got some foam squares. I'm going to use one of my other sheets I've started here. We'll save that one. And let's see, you should have this beautiful, beautiful glitter paper that matched to this kit oh so nicely. You should have a Season's Greetings sticker for Season's Greetings. It might say Merry Christmas. You know, I cut the sheet up, you get what you get. They're all basically the same size and they're all beautiful. And then you should get your Hunkydory kit. Unless you already have your Craftiganza, in which case you should pull that out and find this topper. This topper set is from the Christmas Sparkle collection. And for those of you who may be looking for it in our store, it's called Elegant 20, ELEG 20, 909. We have about, excuse me?
What's the title of it?
It's called Poinsettia Promise. And we have about 12 of these kits left in stock, so if you want one, grab it quick, because these Christmas kits are selling really, really well. Okay, let's see, where do we want to start today? I'm going to start, per the suggestion of my hubby, by tying my ribbon and getting my best glue ever. Our best glue ever drying on it. Hello, Mary Robertson. It's nice to see you out there. And yeah, Kim, you're going to love this kit. It's great fun. Great fun. Okay, I'm using one of my older combs today, my older Bowmaker combs. There's nothing wrong with your television set. It is pink.
Maria's right.
And when you tie yours, your dimensions may be slightly different than mine because you can see mine has all little tines in it. But I'm going to start by tying myself a couple triple bows. If you have not yet had the bow making class, you're going to want to do that soon. I'm going to put another one up on the calendar. We've offered so many of them lately that I'm not pre-tying bows for these anymore. So you will want to take the bow maker class if you haven't taken it yet, because you want to be able to tie these spectacularly wonderful little bows that we're using on our cards.
Say hi to Maria.
Excuse me?
Hi.
Hello, Maria McNulty. Hello, hello. You have a picture of me? I had to see. Oh, I have a picture of you. Okay. Yes, you have a picture of my work, but you don't have a picture today. Sorry about that. The computer, computers are wonderful gadgets. They let me talk to you, but they're also extremely contrary. They only want me to talk to you in the means they want me to talk to you. And that varies from week to week what they'll let me do. Our little picture-in-picture has temporarily disappeared. We're going to keep working on it and try and bring it back, because it's nice to be able to see a face to go with the voice coming out of the ozone. But, it is what it is. It's...
Kim is asking, is the ribbon the easy to work with ribbon that we got back in our bow class in June?
This is not the crepe, but I will tell you that this ribbon has many characteristics in common with the crepe. It is easy to work with, it ties spectacularly well, and it's really flat. When I finish tying my bow, I do not have a gigantic knot in the middle, which I love. Now, as you learned in the bow class, I'm going to do two little cheat things, because I'm going to have these set aside drying, and I'm likely to throw something on them or do something crazy, because you know me, I do these things. I'm going to cheat and put just a little bit of my tape on the back to hold the ribbon in. This is called the, what is it called? This is called the Woven Sparkle. I think it's called Woven Sparkle ribbon. It's red and blue. You will not currently find it on the website, because I had 6 rolls and I started using it and loved it so much that I ended up using everything we had in stock. In fact, I'm waiting for more stock to come in. However, I have 21 more rolls. That's all the manufacturer had. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get this one again after that. But I have 21 more rolls winging their way to me as we speak. I'm putting a little bit of tape on the back of my bow just to hold my loops in place. I'm going to put my best glue ever on here and let this start drying, so that when I'm ready for my bow, best glue ever is not included in your kit, but it is a highly recommended tool for your craft kit. It is basically liquid glue dot. That's kind of what this is. It's not Glue Dot brand, but that's really pretty much what it is. It goes on in a liquid form and dries like a glue dot. Woven Sparkle, yes. It is, Kim, that Woven Sparkle is a new one that I just got. I'll tell you that I actually got it on clearance from the company. It was supposed to sell for $17 a roll. And the other colors I have in this, I think I listed them at $8.99. The great news is it's very affordably priced and it's absolutely gorgeous. The bad news is when we expire the 21 rolls that I have winging their way here from the manufacturer, that's it. It was a clearance item. There is no more to be had. So, but I hope it's picking up on camera just how sparkly and gorgeous this ribbon is. Those of you who have your kits in hand can testify that it is really quite spectacular. I love it. It's got the shininess of a satin, but it's got the glitteriness almost. It's almost glittery looking. It's not, it doesn't have any texture of glitter to it, but it's almost glittery looking. It's really beautiful. Nice. And the rolls were deceptive. I pulled one off just to see what it would look like and tie off a bow. I happened to have grabbed the red, and I could not believe the difference between what I was seeing on the roll and what I was seeing in my hands when I was finished tying it. It's really beautiful.
Mary's asked, what color is that ribbon?
This ribbon is the red and blue. It's blue on the back, and it's red on the face, and they're woven, giving it this really gorgeous burgundy color. It's pretty. And again, you won't find it on the website right now. You'll see it, but it will show sold out, but we'll have more later in the week. And I also ordered, it will take probably 2 weeks to get here, but after I started thinking about it, I thought, you know, the 1/4 inch, I like this one so much that I thought the 1/4 inch would be pretty too. And it's not terribly slippery to work with. I thought the 1/4 inch would be beautiful. So I also ordered, like, I think 25 rolls of the 1/4 inch in this color, because I think a multi-loop bow, you know, 5 or 6 loops on each side would also be pretty. So I also ordered that since, again, it was out there on the closeout site, and I know I can't get this color anymore. I thought, why not? Let's go ahead and get what we can get of this color. So that's coming too. So you got good chance of being able to get something in this color tone. For our cards today, we're going to tie a total of 3 triples and 1 double bow. Again, let me know if you have not yet had the bow class. I had one person in my Thursday class who asked for it. And hello, Annette. Nice to see you, friend. I had one person on Thursday ask for it. I need to know who else is out there so I can get that on the schedule. If you've had the bow class and you feel like you could use more practice, let me know. If you have not had the bow class and you need a kit, let me know, and we'll get that scheduled so that those of you who want a little extra assistance tying your bows can get that. Because there's going to be lots of bows to be tied here as we work our way through Craftaganza. Nice to see you all, friends. I know we have other friends out there watching who can't get signed into the chat for one reason or another, but let me give a shout out to you too. It's nice to know you're out there. Okay, Pat wants the bow class. Excellent. I need the bow class. I need everything. Cool. We got everything. We got everything you need. And I'll try and see if I can't get a piece of this ribbon into the bow kit so we can actually have some specific practice with this ribbon too. Although this ribbon is really quite user-friendly, it is. Remember that when we're putting the best glue ever on, again, it's not included in your kit, but very highly recommended. A bottle like this is, I believe it's $7.95. And this is how much I use at a time. Of course, this is my tape. That's how much I use to attach my bow. This glue is going to last you for a very long time. But it is
Betty?
Well worth having. Hi, Betty. Welcome, friend. We're just tying up some bows, and I was just saying that if you have not had the bow class, I think you have, I'm not sure, but if you have not had the bow class, let's get one of those on the schedule, and get you guys through that because I did not pre-tie any of the bows for this. So many of you now have had our bow class that I thought, nope, you guys can tie your own. How's that? Can't remember the different types of ribbon because we were novices making bows. We need ribbon which is easy to use. I hear you. Well, this is a good one. The crepe is a good one. The organza is a good one. And the satin is okay. It really is. It just, it takes a little more practice with the satin because the satin's a little slipperier. But it's beautiful and highly recommended. And we have great, great prices on our satin and organza ribbons. And this ribbon here has a great price at $8.99. It's super. I have not, but I have the bow maker. Okay, we can, if you want to get, we'll put a bow making class on the schedule, and I'll put it up in 2 versions. I'll put up the ribbon only. You'll get the ribbon and the project that we do in that class. It's a card, and we make bow pins too. So you get the ribbon, the bow pins, and the project, but you will not get the Bow Maker magazine or the Bow Maker because you already have the Bow Maker. I'll put up a version with and without the Bow Maker in it, which will dramatically vary the cost of the class. So I'll put up 2 versions so that we'll get that on the calendar because the bow making class is super important to the appearance of your finished cards. And I know that one of the most challenging aspects of card making is having bows that you love. And you are going to love the way your bows look when you can tie these pretty triple bows and double bows. And even our singles are perfect with the bow maker. You know, I didn't always use a bow maker when I was tying single ribbons, but now I almost always use it for everything because everything comes out so easily and so uniform. I like the way they look. And you can tell by watching me, it does not take a lot of time to tie something really pretty. I mean, this is what I just now did. You just watched me in what, just a few seconds, put that bow right there together. I'm cheating a little bit. I'm putting a little tape on the back to hold my bow layers where I want them to be. Why? Because it's not going to show, and why not make it easier on myself? I could rearrange everything and continue to play with it, or I could just get them where I want them and put a little piece of tape on it. I'm going for the easy way. Yeah. So if even if you've had the bow maker class before and it's just been a while and you just want a little extra practice, go ahead and pick up the kit and walk through it in class with us. You'll be glad you did. And you get lots and lots of ribbon in the class. It's value added in that respect. You not only get the training, you get a pretty good supply of bows when you're done with that will carry you through some of your card making. See, I just messed with that, and now I kind of got it cattywampus because I was messing with it, and I should have just laid it down and taped it, which I'm going to do right now. This will be my 3rd of my 3 ribbons, and then I'm going to do my double. Got that just a little long. I'll just hide my little tape on the back. If my paper shows at all when I'm done, I'll take the paper off. If it doesn't, I can leave the paper on if I want to. It doesn't matter. Hope everybody's getting all cleaned up after the storms back east, and you obviously have power because you're here. I think it's going to be a particularly active storm season this year. That part's not great. Our weather out here's been wonderful and warm, but not suffocatingly warm. Okay, little best glue ever on the back. I'm doing the bows first because this best glue ever takes a bit to dry, but it's absolutely worth the effort. Did you ever notice when you are putting bows on things that if something's going to fall off your card, it will be the bow? And it will be the fibers in the ribbon seem to keep regular glue or glue dots or tape from sticking as well as they might. But when you look how much extra ribbon you're getting, guys, because this 1/2 inch ribbon, it actually ties pretty well. I miscalculated to your advantage. I usually assume it takes a yard for a triple bow, and this 1/2 inch ribbon, it doesn't take that much. Anyway, your bows fall off your cards, and that's very frustrating indeed when that happens. But what will happen if you use the best glue ever on these bows is that the glue, while it's still in liquid form, gets into the fibers of the ribbon, and when it dries, it's actually a part of the ribbon. That bow isn't going anywhere once you stick it on your card. That's why I think this is the best glue ever when it comes to putting bows on cards. Now, I don't think it's the best glue ever for every single application. I like it for my bows. You don't want to use it anywhere where you're doing fussy cutting or you have tiny pieces, because this dries into a glue dot, which means that when it's dry, you're still going to have a sticky surface there, and that's not what you want. You could always deactivate the sticky with a embossing pillow or something, but why do that? Just use a different glue for the tacking down the tiny things. But I don't think there's any better formulation for putting bows on than this one. And like I said, one bottle of this will last you forever and forever. And I haven't had problems with it losing integrity over time. I've had bottles of this that I've had for a year. As long as I keep them, capped between uses, I'm not having any problem with it drying out or anything. So think about picking that up if you haven't gotten that yet. It's worth having. Okay, ooh, I like this one. I like all of them, but I like this one. Oh, I was supposed to be tying a double. I just tied another triple. Oh well, I'll use this on a different card. Or I'll just put a triple where I had a double before. Maybe I'll do that. Remember, a double, you just tie both loops the same length. And a triple, we're using 2 loops at one length and 1 loop at a longer length. But it'll be fine to have a fancy schmancy bow. Doesn't matter. And I still have, wow, I really overcalculated this one. All right, I still have 1.5 yards of this left. So looky there. Brittany, I found some ribbon to finish those kits. Yesterday, I went and picked up our father-in-law in Eastern Oregon. He's going to be living with us now. And while I was en route back and forth, Brittany was at home putting the kits together. So she was calling and saying, how'd you do this? And how much of that do we need? And we were discussing cards and card composition as I rolled down the highway. I was doing it safely and hands-free, but one of those calls was, Debbie, you got any more of this sparkle ribbons stashed somewhere? No. Do you know how many cards you made using this ribbon? Quite a few. Yep, you expired your available supply. Well, and she says, you need to be doing that planning ahead of time. Don't just grab what you think is going to be beautiful. You need to plan ahead for what's actually on the shelf. I say, oh, that's not my problem. That's your problem. Oh, she says, it's your problem, Aunt Debbie.
She's right.
Bryce is sitting here agreeing with her, yes. Because I just kind of get into my creative mode, guys, and I just use what I think's going to look good. And then, like the cow cards that we have coming up, you don't see that on the classes yet because I used Nouveau drops. And, yeah, we only had a few sets of that on the shelf right now. So we have more winging its way to us, and as soon as it gets here, we'll put the cow cards up. I am going to offer an option because I know a lot of you have Nouveau drops or similar products. I will offer an option in that kit with and without the Nouveau drops, so that if you already have a similar product, you can save a little bit of money on it, on that kit, because the basic kit will actually include 3 bottles of Nouveau drops to make the light bulbs. Whoops, wrong one. Let's try that again. Wrong bottle. Grab this one. And get once again, just a small amount. Now this bottle, it sometimes wants to come out very generously. And it's okay to use a generous amount if you don't mind putting your bows on tomorrow. But it is slow to dry. So I try to put just a little amount. There's my amount on this one. I actually kind of smear it around a little bit and let it kind of spread out a little bit so that we stand some chance that they'll be dry at the end of our class when we want to put them on. Let's go ahead and get started on our...
Do you want to show the cards first before?
Sure. Here's our cards. Here's our first one. This one is made with cardstock on the outside and on the inside. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we make that card. But I took one piece of cardstock and I cut it and put part of the card to the inside and part to the outside, and then I cut my front flap. So that's a fun design. This is a very basic one. However, in this one, I have used that pretty sparkly paper, which is in your kit.
Maria's got a question for you.
Hello, Maria. Are Nouveau drops the ones that come in colors? Yes, they are. And they're beautiful. I'll show you a sample. I'll show you the cow card. You just can't buy it yet, but I'll show you the cow card at the end and why I thought the Nouveau drops were just a lot of fun on that one. Here's fairly simple design, but beautiful. Look how much our bow adds to that. Another simple design. This one was not put on with the best glue ever. I got in a hurry. I didn't have my bottle right here. I should have, because that's why I'm having trouble with my bow on that one. How about we just grab that grab the best glue ever and solve that problem while we're at it, because that shouldn't happen when I have these wonderful tools sitting here. And here's our final card we're going to do today. Okay, let's get started. Let's start with this big one right here. Let's do this one first. That's beautiful. To do this one, we are going to use this piece of cardstock. And I did not use any mirror board behind these. That's almost unreal because I always seem to put mirror board in my cards, but I didn't this time. The blush pink poinsettias are such a nice, yeah, aren't they pretty? I'm going to actually take my card from right here because I want those pretty poinsettias on both sides. So I'm going to trim off this outer piece on both sides of that. I'm going to start by putting down my tape lines. You'll notice once again I'm still practicing with this wider finger lift tape. I'll let you guys know what I think when I have finished using at least one roll of it. But this is a tape rather than my regular finger lift tape, which is considerably narrower. I'm trying this out. This tape here is sold by the people who sell the Easy Peelies, and I thought, well, let's just give it a shot. Sometimes it's good to have a backup product available because we know that we can't always get what we need from if we rely on one product exclusively from one manufacturer. So I thought I'd try this tape and see what I think of it. It does feel big and clunky to me because I've been using the narrow tape for so very long. But so far, so good. It does seem to be a really good product.
Does it have an odor? Mary would like to know.
No. Now, if it is, it's very subtle and I don't smell it. I do need to qualify that by saying that I've made lots of soap in my lifetime, and because I think I kind of burned out some of my smell sensors making soap, guys, because you're using such strong fragrances. But no, I don't think so. Do you smell any odor? I don't think so. Maybe very, very light, if it's any at all. No, it doesn't have a strong adhesive smell at all. Do you think the Hunkydory one does, just out of curiosity? I've never noticed it, but it might have. Not sure. Okay, you know that instead of measuring everything and trying to put my card face on my card, I put the whole cardstock on my card and then trim off the little bits that I don't need. It's faster, it's easier, I don't have any waste, and it's still really pretty. Now, when I'm making cards, I would keep pieces like this until I was done, just in case I needed another little border or something. I don't in this particular case. I know that I had plenty of cardstock to finish all of my cards, but just as kind of a hint. Okay, let's pull.
Kim, got a question?
Is it possible to use touches of glitter on the Hunkydory cards? Oh, yes, you certainly can. In fact, some of the cards that we have coming up in the next week, Kim, oh my gosh, look at this. These are glossy. This is glossy. And can you see that? Look at the sparkles in there. Can you see it? I hope. Can you see all that? I will tell you that what I recommend for this, in order to get these really fine, beautiful touches of glitter and not have it globby at all, I like this tool right here. And I did not communicate to Brittany in advance that I thought maybe I wanted to include one of these in this kit and in the deer kit. So they didn't get into the kits. It would have been, the price would be the same one way or the other, guys. I was just going to make it convenient and include it in the kit. But this is called a Quickie Glue Pen. It's from Sakura. And I love, 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 love this pen right here for putting my glitter accents on. Now, because on Matte-tastic or other matte surfaces, this goes on in a super fine line and stays in a fine line. On this one, you will notice that it pools just a little bit, but it's still so much finer than other glue tips that you can get. It's ultra fine. I mean, it's like a ballpoint pen, and it's glue. So it's an ultra fine line that you put down with this Quickie Glue Pen, and that gives you the opportunity to have spectacularly wonderful but light and tasteful touches of glitter. So get this pen. We have plenty of them in stock. It's called the Quickie Glue Pen. Just type in Quickie in the search bar and it'll bring it right up. You will love this. In fact, I did. If you look in the class kits section, the live stream classes, I actually put highly recommended, and I put this pen right in there. So that's how you avoid getting clumpy, icky globs of glitter. Use a pen that allows you to put a really precise line. There you go. That's the one. Get a couple of them. You're going to need them for your Christmas cards, especially if you're doing the Craftiganza. Oh, yes. Oh, you let us go into the area where they were crossing colors. Oh, wow. That's neat that you get to do that, Maria. Okay. Good questions, all. Thanks for all your participation. I love it. You make me happy when you talk back. And you get to do some of the talking. It makes me very happy. So, okay, we're using this topper with a kind of soft mint green around the edges. It already has the words on this one. We're going to pop this frame apart very carefully in 3 pieces, which you know means you could make a shaker out of it if you wanted to. You could very easily make this into a shaker card using the techniques we've talked about before if you decided you wanted to. I'm going to, first, I usually put my outside frame on first because it helps me to position and kind of know where things are going to go. Now I will come just a little more than centered. I'm going to leave a little bit of extra room at the top because I'm going to have that big fluffy bow up there, kind of hanging on the corner. And I still want it to look balanced when you look at the whole thing. So I'm coming a little bit lower than the midpoint. Not a lot lower, just a little. I'm going to put my foam squares on here. Because this is a fairly narrow piece, and it is a light, it feels lightweight, just it's still cut out 300 GSM card, but it's a narrow, fine piece. I'm putting more glue or more foam squares than I would on a big piece because I want to hold it up and not have any little saggy areas in it. You know what I mean? I hope I'm clear. Will you turn that AC on just a little bit, honey? He's over here giving me the burr. It's already cold shoulder, but it's warm to me in here. Probably just because I'm so excited that you're here. I'm glad you got this one, Annette. It's a fun, pretty kit. You're going to love your cards. They're so beautiful. Does anybody do this better than Hunkydory? I don't think so. Somebody asked me a while back, what's the very best brand? Well, there are some spectacular brands out there. We know that. There's some great ones. Hunkydory's my favorite. That's why we have a warehouse that's composed about 25% of Hunkydory, and they make up at least 25%, maybe 30% of our entire inventory is Hunkydory. There's some other great brands. Anna Griffin is great. There's, and die sets and things. Tattered Lace, you could never go wrong. We love, that we love Find It Trading. I love Find It Trading. But it comes back to Hunkydory, guys. I think this year's kit is beautiful too. I agree, Brenda. I'm going to have a lot of fun putting all of them together. I have had a lot of fun with getting the few sets done that I have done so far. And I'm working away trying to get more of them, stay ahead of you guys a little bit. I know that when you get your kits, you're always anxious to see what we can come up with. So I'm working diligently to bring you lots of fun choices and designs. I was talking to a friend today who's one of our crafty friends. She didn't get to sign in because her computer won't cooperate. But what was I going to say? Darn it. I lost it. Don't you hate it when that happens when you get older? Your mind kind of goes clunk and stops. It didn't used to happen to me as often as it does now. It probably has always happened to me because I'm a little goofy sometimes, but it happens more often these days than it used to. It'll come back to me maybe. I don't know what I was going to say about my conversation with Thelma. I lost it. But anyway, I know you guys are anxious to get started, and I'm trying to support that. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Sometimes when you go to a class, teachers can get touchy about you not doing things quite the way they do them. To me, I love that you take these ideas and then make them your own. I think that is wonderful when you can take off and do your own thing. I only ask you show us too. Post them on Facebook. Tell us about what you did. I think that's wonderful. I used to go to some craft classes that were held here locally by a manufacturer, and The teacher would always kind of look a little crossways at me and say, "You're not doing it right." No, I'm doing it my way.
How did you fix that piece?
I actually wanted to show you that, and then I got carried away talking and didn't. I took my glue bottle and I ran it right around the inside edge, which I have found gives me better control than putting it right on the piece. When I put the glue right on the piece, I get glue on my surrounding frame. But when you take your glue bottle and you run it around the inside, and then you put your little frame into it, it doesn't get glob glue all over this outside. So that's what I've been doing lately, and I like that. So yeah, I meant to show you that. So thank you, Bryce, for pointing out that I did not say that. Welcome to me world. My daughter says, and you go from room to room and you forgot what you were getting. She calls that portal memory. Yes. I have portal memory, Maria. I definitely do. I definitely do. But what's my excuse when I go from sitting in a chair to sitting in a chair and still lose track? Sometimes I still lose track. I don't know that I have a great excuse for that, at least. Oh, a glitch in my database. I like that, Annette. I really like that. Yes, I think we were twins separated at birth. I love the comments you guys leave on the videos. You're so fun. Sometimes they're so funny. Then I have to kind of decide whether or not to respond as I want to, you know. Like, for example, Bryce told me I couldn't say this, but Annette, when you told me that we were twins separated at birth because we're so much alike, I really wanted to say, that's great to know in case I ever need a kidney transplant. Bryce told me I couldn't say it. Oh, but we are twins separated at birth. Sounds like you just like me. Hello, Crafty Gal. Yay, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. What's your first name, Crafty Gal? Yeah, Ned says I can say those things if I want to, Bryce.
We'll bleep you.
Deborah, well, that's a great name. I should be able to remember that, Deborah. I'm a Deborah spelled the same way. Oh, that's funny. I answered anything polite, though. That's what Bryce says. Sometimes I need to suppress my inner voice because I don't. It's the things that go through your head you really shouldn't say out loud, except I say them out loud most of the time. I get myself in so much trouble sometimes. Oh, well. Usually with Bryce, however. Okay, let's see how our bows are doing. I know that this bow right here is ready to use. These pieces right here are just my tape. And see how it has moved from milky white to entirely clear? That's how I know my bow's ready to go. So I'm going to trim my tails on here. I want a whale tail, so I'm going to fold it like a taco with a fold of my ribbon on the bottom, and then I'm going to clip upward and towards the end of the ribbon. And I'm going to get that pretty little tail. And now, yeah, we love your inner voice. Thank you, Mary. Oh, sometimes I get in trouble, but you know, life's short. You got to be happy, right?
We're in trouble.
Happy or in trouble? Sometimes happy trouble. Okay, so I've got my glue on there. I've got my tape. I'm just going to put this slightly off to the side. And there we go. We got our beautiful finished card. Just as easy as that. There we go. How fun is that? So we got our biggest card, one of our two big cards done. While we're at it, let's just go ahead and take on the other one. We're going to use our other 5x7 card. You guys have any questions? Oh, you know what I forgot? I think I forgot something.
Kim has a question.
Okay, I forgot something. That's why I gave you the 3 little rhinestones. How can we find easy Peelies for Christmas? You can't find them right now because they're not there. They sold out. But before you get discouraged, I have a box sitting with customs at UPS. Yes, it's not FedEx this time. This time it's UPS. I was talking with them on the phone as I was driving from here to Eastern Oregon and back, and we're trying to get our order released through customs. As soon as it gets here, we will have the Easy Peelies for Christmas back in stock, and we will also have Easy Peelies for birthdays, all occasions. There's some one-page ones that are really cute for getting older, funny little getting older messages. And I think I got a sympathy one. Is that it? I think that's about it. But we have some nice, I went in and pretty much got all the ones that are similar to the Christmas ones. So they're all on the way right now. They will be here in a few days. We'll put them on Brits Bargains so everybody can see them, but if you, let me see, how can I get them to you? I could temporarily, I probably should just put them where they belong. But you can always search for put in the word easy in the search engine, and they may come up before Brits Bargains. Yes, I'm excited. How does she know you, Nana? That's so sweet. I think that's so cute. What's your granddaughter's name? I love the way they look, Kim. They're beautiful. What's your granddaughter's name, Annette? I want to give her a shout out. I love the way that the Easy Peelies look. Hi, McKinley. Welcome to our class. I'm so glad that Grandma has you there so we can say hi. Hi. Welcome. Welcome. Everybody say hi to McKinley. Okay, did you guys see that I just put my rhinestones on the bottom here while I was talking with McKinley? Yeah. There's another hi to McKinley from Brenda. Come on, guys. Say hi to McKinley. There we go. Hi, McKinley. There we go. She says hi. She loved that. Grandma, I'm on TV. I love that. I was also talking with somebody earlier this week that called that when your program is on, like it's on TV, when your show is on. I thought that was fun. I thought that was fun. Anyway, okay, 5x7. Oh, McKinley gets smiley faces, big grins from Kim. All right, we're going to start this one. And my idea here was I love this red and I love this. And I thought, wouldn't those play nicely together if they were side by side? So what I did, oh, you are on a big screen. Okay, so we are a program. I'm feeling hot now.
Someone's head's getting big.
So in order to get this effect, what I wanted was to leave this wide enough to show all these pretty flowers and narrow enough that I could really feature this band. So what I'm going to do, hey McKinley, Sadie's saying hi to you from another country. Life size on my big TV. Woohoo! I'm going to start, you know I don't do this very often, but I'm going to start by cutting my cardstock so I can see where I want that to go and not waste any of this extra piece in the middle. So I'm going to put this on my lighted cutter, and this one leaf just hangs way out there. It's probably getting trimmed off, but everything else I want to stay. So I'm going to cut this so that it's wide enough that I can feature everything I want to feature. I kept most of that leaf, but some of it's going to get covered by my border. And I'm going to put this on my card, then I'm going to trim my card off, okay? So that's what we're doing here. I'm going to put this on my card first. So in this case, since I don't know exactly where it's going to fit on my card, yeah, Sadie's in the United Kingdom across the ocean from us. And she's saying hi to Sadie. Or yeah. McKinley. Hey, I lost it again. I'm not sure what I was going to say. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Sadie, give a shout out to Katie also. Katie's out there, and she might like to hear from somebody from United Kingdom too, and know that she's talking to somebody from clear across the ocean. That would be fun. If you said hi to Katie also. And Katie can tell all her friends. I got to talk to somebody from United Kingdom. She was talking just to me. Thank you, Sadie. I love to make the kids happy. It just does my heart good, you know? Whoops. Okay. I got it a little bit off right here. You guys know what I'm going to do with that, right? I'm going to my paper cutter. I'm just going to trim the tiniest of edges off the bottom. And then it doesn't matter that I got a little off. What I will not do is tear my card up by trying to take it off. That's a no-no. Try wherever possible not to remove things from your card. You will only be disappointed by doing that. Look for workarounds. Cover it up in some other way, or... Okay, so I just took this off the top. All right, so I got that on there. I like the way that looks now. I'm going to go ahead and trim this. And right along the edge of that piece I just put there. Okay. And now I'm going to get my border piece off of my punch-out sheet. Is it AM or PM, Katie? Isn't it 11:52 PM where you are? I'm thinking you're 8 hours ahead of me. Am I wrong about that? I could be wrong about that. I'm frequently wrong about a lot of things. Okay. Okay, here we go. You're headed for AM pretty quick, I think. All right. I got my border. I'm going to put my border on. Now, because I put this piece just a little bit off, I'm going to wait to put my border on until after I put my piece inside. And if it looks like it needs to be corrected for it all, I'll simply move my border out just a little bit to make it even. Okay, does that make sense? Oh, we gotta love those kids, don't we? I love those kids. Okay, I know, again, I say I never cut things unless I have to, but if I'm going to get this in here, I either have to turn my card inside out, which is going to kind of bust stuff up a little bit. I don't think I want to do that. Or I have to go ahead and cut this to 5 inches. So I'm going to cut this to just slightly, ever so slightly less than 5 inches. Why? Because it has to allow for the fold on the inside. So I'm going to cut this to 5 inches. And then I've got my piece that fits nicely here. if you have any extra space, bring it to the edge here and leave any extra in the inside. Does that make sense? So bring it to the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and put my, maybe I'll do it with glue just so I can move it just a little if I need to. There we go. So we're going to, I love it when these kids stop by. It just makes me happy. Children make me happy. I used to come home from doing the art literacy program and I'd just be bubbling, telling Bryce all about what happened with the kids that day. All the ways in which we had great fun. Oops, I almost put it in the wrong direction, guys. That would not have done well for getting my red border showing, would it? All the ways in which we had fun, all the ways in which the kids mortified their teachers that day. One of the children, I remember I was on Star Carpet one day and we were talking and I asked if there were any questions. This little girl raised her hand and said, "Mrs. Hamilton, why are you so fat?" The teacher just sank in the middle of the background, started charging forward. And I said, "Because I love candy too much." That was all she needed to know, and we were fine. We moved on. She didn't mean to be rude. She was just being a kid, and kids have questions. And telling her that candy makes you fat was not a bad thing for her to know. And then she was fine.
The little boy asked about your strength.
Yes, another time, Bryce was reminding me that another time I dyed my hair for years and years. And when my kids were in grade school, I continued to dye my hair. I would wear it kind of brown with a little bit of red in it. And my hair had grown out a bit, so I had probably, it was pretty bad at that point, I had maybe a half-inch grow outline, and my hair has been this color underneath for years. For those of you who haven't seen me, I am completely gray, totally gray. And it's been that way for years, since my 30s probably. And so I had this silver streak going down the middle of my hairline at the part. And this little boy said, "What's that in your hair?" And then he went, "Oh." And he kind of covered up his mouth like he was embarrassed. And I said, "Oh, I fixed my hair that way. Do you like it? I put that silver streak in there because I think it's fun." And he said, "Oh, okay." And he kind of tottered away, but you could see he was really thinking about it. "I put that silver streak in my hair. Do you like that?"
I'd give a shout out to Sadie's granddaughter, Megan.
Is Megan there?
Yep.
Is she there with you, Sadie? Oh, Megan. Well, hello, Megan. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I'm so glad she's in bed asleep, but when she tunes in tomorrow, she will know that she heard from all kinds of new friends in the United States of America. Maybe we can tell her what states we're in so she can look at them on a map. Wouldn't that be fun? I'll start. Megan, my name's Debbie, and I'm your new friend from the state of Oregon. Chime in anytime, guys. There we go. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. There we go. Come on, guys.
There's a 20-second delay.
Give her a shout out. There we go. In Virginia. Oh, she's going to love this. She's going to be able to look on a map. There's Texas. And she's going to be able to see where we all come from. And she's going to be able to say, "I have new friends in North Carolina and Texas and Virginia." Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, guys. I love it. You guys make me so happy. Okay, I've got my inside of my card in. I glued it down. I scooched it over so that it's completely even with this side. If there's any little extra at all from trimming it shorter, we put it to the inside. Now we've got that beautiful red showing. I'm going to use my border, and remember that I cut my card, I put my topper on just a little off, but I don't think that it's enough. I have to compromise. I left this just so I could see if I needed to do any correction here, but I think that's going to be fine. I'm going to go ahead and put a little glue on this and put it down. Maryland, And we'll put this pretty border on here. I love this gray, the silver gray with the red and the white. Now I want to show you something I did. I got a little bit of glue on my mirror board right there. You know what we do about that? We get that baby wipe out. I had one. You get your baby wipe out and wipe it right off. When it's wet, glue will wipe right off of this. And remember that because Adorable Scorable has that microfilm of plastic over it, that's what allows it not to crack or feather. As long as you put it on and then wipe it off, wipe any excess moisture off, your cardstock is going to be fine. So it's actually a little bit washable there. You can wash off any extras. Oceanside, California. It's really nice of you to join us today, Deborah. Is this the first time you've come in live on one of our videos? I think it is. But I'm very happy to have a new crafty friend from Oceanside, California. Okay, we've got that part done. Now, on this one, I took an extra piece of my cardstock and I covered my topper so that when I open it, it's finished on that side. I don't know that I really had to do that. Because this panel's white anyway, but I did do that. If you want to, we have a little leftover piece. You could absolutely do that. If you're going to put liner on this side, it might be nice to finish this side. I did want to mention it because we used the cardstock on here, and it has that microfilm on it. When I write in this card, I'm either going to use one of my Easy Peely verses and put it here, and then sign it down here in Sharpie, or any message I write is going to need to be in Sharpie, because I'm on that plastic paper. And regular ballpoint pen, there's some risk it won't dry right. Okay, does that make sense? So because I'm doing that, or I can simply sign this panel. That's the other choice. Okay? I'm going to put some foam squares under here. This is really fun today. Thank you, guys. I love how interactive you guys are. Well, I'm so glad you joined us for the live, because as you can see, we have a lot of fun. We have just some of the nicest people you will ever meet that come to our Crafty Friends class. Can you emboss on that? You know, I have to be honest. I have not tried that, Deborah, so I don't know. Why don't you try it and give us an answer on that, because I don't know. I have not tried to emboss right on top of the Adorable Scorable. I know the Matte-tastic would be okay because that doesn't have the film on it. But, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the matte form, not the glossy, but the matte form of the cardstock from Hunkydory. I'm pretty sure that the Matte-tastic would be fine to emboss on that. This one I have not tried. So that's a really, really good question. I don't know. Anybody else know? Maybe one of you guys know. Hi, Renee. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to hear from you. I love that we're getting so many more people joining us in our chat. Thank you for that. I know we have lots of people who watch that just don't tune in and don't chat, but it's awfully fun when you join us and we get to know you a little bit because we like that a lot. Okay, I'm going to go just about center with this one, and I'm just going to hang that halfway on my card, halfway on my red. And on this one, I'm going to go back to my punch out sheet, and I'm going to get this seasonal greetings. I'm going to put that up on a few foam squares for a little additional texture. You'll have plenty, plenty, plenty of ribbon if you decided that you wanted to put a bow up here. That also would look really good, or maybe here, but it would look really good there too. He knows. There are both kinds of coatings. Okay, so maybe the mat does have a coating on it and I didn't know. I do think it would go on there okay, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that would ripple. So I may be saying something that's not true. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to get creative and try some embossing on some of that. Our stamping group's going to be doing some embossing here soon when we finish we temporarily reverted our Thursday night stamping group over to making Hunkydory cards because I wanted to get you guys as many samples as possible here as quickly as possible. We're done. I see I got a little bit of glue right there. We know what we're going to do about that, right? Keep grabbing this back, but I'm going to take my baby wipe and then I'm just going to wipe off the excess. I had a little spot there that I could see of glue. So there we go. There's our second one. All right. This is one of the reasons that I think these chats are so very useful. It's things like, Brenda's husband being a printer and different people having tried different things and the feedback you get. It's really wonderful. Really, really good for everybody to share their ideas. I love that. I love that. You guys don't want to just listen to me the whole time. Okay. Oh, I was looking at my sample saying, what did I do? I'm coming up short. No, I'm not. Because this one is done on the glitter paper. These two are going to come from these two ends. See that? We are going to make a wonderful use of this beautiful poinsettia paper. There will be no waste for us, guys. No, no, no. No waste. Okay, this card is ready to put a bow back on it. This is the sample that I had that didn't have Best Glue Ever on it. I know my Best Glue Ever is ready because my Best Glue Ever is completely clear. I'm going to put my bow back on my sample card because that was really bugging me that it was missing. I want that actually a little off center just because sometimes I make things, I don't want it to be too uniform, so I want it to be a little off center. And now that'll hold well. And I'm just going to cut these tails at an angle. Okay, so let's make that card. We've got our A6 cards here. A6 is a European, this A6 is a European size. It is 4 1/4 by 5 7/8. I guess that makes sense in the European world and their measuring system. It's an odd number to us, but we deal with it. The reason I love that, you guys have heard me say this so many times, but the reason I love to use European A6 cards with these sets is that one sheet of Adorable Scoreable will give me, so if I really like a printed sheet, one sheet will give me 4 cards. That's why I like to use these European A6 instead of A2. There's nothing wrong with the A2 cards we use all the time, the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. There's nothing whatsoever wrong with those, and you can get them readily available here in the United States, and they're pretty, and they're functional, and they're usually pretty inexpensive. I use the A6 because I can get more out of my Hunkydory kit. Okay. You shared our class on Pinterest, Mary? Yay, you. Thank you. I love that. Thank you for sharing us on social media. You know, the more viewers that we get, the more things I can do for you. So thank you for contributing to our viewership and our customer base. And the more we get the word out there, like I said, the more time I know I need to focus on these classes. I started doing it because I wanted to help those who were, those who were going stir crazy at home because we were all staying home. But it has turned out to be a very good business channel for us, and I intend to continue doing it for the foreseeable future, because not only is it fun and entertaining for me and for you, it's good for business, so why not just keep doing it? And I love all the friends I'm making. I feel like I have friends all across the country from these classes, and it's so nice to get to hear from you instead of you just hearing from me all the time. Okay, I just covered my card in my traditional way. I put down three rows of tape. I put my card on my cardstock on top. I flip it over. I cut right around my card, and I have a perfectly faced card in no time. Let's go ahead. We might as well just face our other card while we're at it, huh? While we're doing that, and then we'll be ready to go with both of them. There's my clunky tape. Okay. Here we go. So just like before, 3 rows of tape. Holds my card down really nicely to my topper paper, and it's very secure, very quick. I don't cut my tape, I don't pre-cut my tape, I just tear it off the end of the card. Cards are tough enough to hold up, and the paper tears easily. And then I just peel off my strips, and I put my cardstock right on top, line it up with my folded edge. No matter what else happens with any of your other edges when you're topping something, always make sure your folded edge gets the good, gets right up to the edge. If anything else is off, see here? I have just the tiniest bit showing on this side. If anything else is off, you can trim that. But if your fold is off, you got to come up with a more creative solution. Stickers, borders, you can do those too. But if you just get that one right to start with, everything else is a pretty easy fix with the trimmer. And I'm going to trim this one just a tad. Now, even though this is exactly the size of a piece of A6, I can put 4 cards on here and exactly fit them, just because we're human and we line up things just a little bit off, sometimes you'll get just a tiny bit of that. That's nothing. Let's just cut it off. And it's not like it's going to influence the fit in the envelope or anything. Nothing. Love my trimmer. Look at those trims. Beautiful. And I'm going to trim my back cover too. I don't want that white showing through. There we go. Let's see how we did. Perfect. Okay. Now, we have 2 cards just about ready to go here. We are going to put a piece of border and our bow and our season's greetings on this one. And we are going to be done with this card. So let's do that next. Don't you love the way that when Hunkydory makes these kits, that they give us different things like the sentiments and the borders and stuff? I love that. Thank you, Brenda. I really like doing them too. I really like interacting with you guys. It's a highlight of my week. It really is. I love it. I leave these classes in such a good mood. Okay, I'm going to show you guys another one of my tricks. When I'm going to put a border down, one of the things I like to do is I don't like to draw pencil lines and stuff on my thing. For one thing, it takes time. For another thing, it's just boring. It's more measuring. I don't like to measure unless I have to. So I like to just use a piece of paper. In this case, I'm going to use the border I'm going to put down and kind of get myself a straight line that I can work with. So I want my border to be up about, I want my greeting to be up about an inch off the bottom of my card. So I'm going to tape my border here temporarily, just so I have a line to work against. And then I'm going to peel my sticker and put my sticker right at the top of my border. Once I have my sticker down, I'll move my border down where it belongs, but it gives me a straight line to work with. Now, I will tell you that these particular borders you're working with in this kit are done in this glitter texture vinyl, and that's a little touchy. It can break. If it breaks, don't think you've ruined your sticker. Just put it on in 2 pieces. I can't tell you the number of times I've torn the S off or torn the N off the end. No problem. Just put it on in 2 pieces. I do have to kind of guesstimate where I want these to go. My left hand is so useless. Okay, so I'm going to set this temporarily right here. I'm not putting it down hard yet. I won't rub it down until I'm sure that I have it right where I want it, because you can lift these stickers back up and reposition if you're really gentle about it. So be gentle when you put it down and don't rub it in yet. And then make sure you have exactly what you want. And then we will, let's see, there's still a chance I'll tear it. I don't know. I'm not trying to, but it does happen. You can also move these with transfer tape. In some of my other videos, I've shown you how to move things with transfer tape. Now this particular one that I'm using has this little loopy at the bottom too. I'm going to disregard that little loopy when it comes to lining this up on my line. I'm just ignoring that entirely. I'm going to let it just hang there loose for a minute. And I'm going to line up according to the bottom of my lowercase letters. So let me show you what this looks like. I just completely ignored that. So when I take this out, that's going to be straight. Now I can rub it down. And I like the placement side to side. I like the placement top to bottom. And I'll bring this down here and it looks good. Huh? And this easy, as long as you're using low-tack tape, this is the same tape I use for die cutting. As long as I'm using my low-tack tape, I can lift that up and move it. I can put this border on either with tape or with glue, doesn't matter. The transfer tape's great for your blood pressure. Sometimes stickers are just too big almost to move them without transfer tape, aren't they? I just never seem to have a piece when I want it, so I've come up with all kinds of workarounds. I love being able to use, you know me, Mary, I love to use those little scraps. It always makes me feel smart or something, I don't know. It makes me feel clever. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. It makes me feel clever when I use a piece that was intended as a throwaway. Especially when it just looks great on there. I think, fun. Okay. I think I have my saying just a little bit higher, so I'm wondering what it would look like if I bring my border just a little bit higher. I think I like that. So I'm going to bring my border up just a little bit on this one. You know me, even my own samples working against my own designs, sometimes they're different. Okay. There we go. Trim that off. Grab one of our pretty bows we've tied. Doesn't really matter which one, they're all going on. I'll place my bow. And I'm going to go a little bit to the right again. Look at that beautiful ribbon. I hope you guys can see how sparkly and wonderful that is, because it is so pretty. It's just so, so elegant. I never, ever would have guessed that looking at this on the roll. I never would have guessed it. Cut my ribbon tails at an angle, and there we go. Two versions of our season's greetings. I think the other reason this looked better with the border moved up just a little bit is that this season's greetings was larger. Yours may vary too, guys. I grab a sheet of stickers and we cut them apart to make your kits, so you kind of get what you get in those, but they're always pretty. That one's done. Let's go to this one. We are so close to being done. We only have 2 left, and they're both pretty easy. Okay, whew. It's still warm in here. Bryce is probably freezing. I tend to run on the warm side. Okay, he calls me when we're sleeping together. He calls me his blast furnace. He only will lay next to me for just a minute because he's moving away. I'm just too hot. The dog, Teddy, by contrast, Teddy will curl right in with me. He thinks laying next to Mom's a good thing because I'm warm. Okay, this time we're going to use the one on the bottom, the single piece, not the one with the multi-frame, because we're going to use that on a different one. Going to use the single piece. We're going to put that up on some foam squares. We're going to use the Merry Christmas that's right next to it on the punch-out sheet. Oh, that's interesting. I actually put this on differently on the other card. See that? I went this way. I'm using it this way this time. It doesn't matter. It's going to be beautiful either way. But I may move the side I put my tag on, because this time I've got this. I may put my Merry Christmas over here so it shows more. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's the same card design. It's just backward of where I was before. Okay, let's see. Foam squares. I don't need an awful lot of foam squares on this because it's a big solid tag. So I'm going to space these out every inch, inch and a quarter. There's no real specific placement to these, just around on it. Put a few in the middle so that the middle doesn't sag down. And that's plenty. About 9 or so foam squares, 9, 10 foam squares on the back will be just right. Does Hunkydory ever have flower embellishments to add to the card? I can see a small pink or red poinsettia would work on this set. You are such a genius, Kim. Hunkydory does not offer pre-made floral embellishments. However, they do have a beautiful... it's one of Margie's favorites. They do have a beautiful cutting die of a poinsettia, which would be marvelous on these. And just a little hint, one of the card kits that should be arriving soon, I told you next week. Yeah, that's what I thought until I talked to Hunkydory and found out our order is still sitting on their loading dock, waiting to go out. Unhappy about that, by the way, in case you couldn't tell from the tone. But anyway, this happens when you work with small companies, tiny companies, except with us. Because when you buy from us, I realized what I said there. When you buy from us, we're getting it right out to you guys. And I think you could all say and would all agree that we do a good job of shipping quickly. But, yeah, Hunkydory doesn't always ship quickly. And they're a small family-run business, and I completely understand all the challenges of small family-run businesses, but they should still ship my orders on time and make me happier. Anyway, end of soapbox. Anyway, what I was starting to say before I went off on my soapbox was that one of the kits that's contained in those orders that are held up at Hunkydory is Forever Florals Poinsettia. It is an entire card kit built around poinsettias, and you can bet that in that card kit we are going to do some floral add-ons. Thank you, Mary, for the shout out on our fast shipping. We really do try very hard to get orders right out. We usually ship the next day. The one ongoing exception to that is we don't ship out store orders on Monday. We try and get our Amazon orders all out on Monday because Amazon dings us if we don't, ship within a certain time frame. But otherwise, every order ships daily. So we try really hard to be timely. So there's our finished card. Here's our beginning sample. Same card, reversed. Little different look because it's reversed. Still pretty both ways. Okay, let's go to this one. Got one left, and then we're going to take a look at what we have coming up. If you weren't here on Thursday night, wait till you see what we've been up to. Holy cow, there's just all kinds of wonderfulness coming your way. Okay, I cut quarter sheets of this, and as we said, sometimes, measures are different. I'm going to have just a tiny edge here. That's nothing, guys. Trim it off. We're going to put down our 3 rows of tape to hold that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I was so excited. I found this, before you ask me where to get this glitter card, let me tell you it's from my private stash. But I found this glitter card in my private stash, and it just was such a good fit with this card kit and this ribbon. I had to give you a little piece of it to make one of your cards because it's just so pretty together. For those of you who may not have noticed yet, in the Craftiganza kits that we're putting up versions of the Craftiganza kit that have the entire kit, including the topper. And then we're also giving you the option, for those of you that already bought Craftiganza, of being able to buy just the embellishments that we're using on the cards since you already have the topper sets. So that'll save you a little money if you already have the Craftiganza. It's nice to have the choice of whether or not to get another topper set. That's easy enough for us to do. We package them all without and then add the topper set if we need it, so it's easy for us to accommodate and make that option available to you. Okay, I have covered my card. I have mostly trimmed my card. It's actually a little long. I'm going to trim off my excess of my glitter card. There, I have a perfectly covered card in 1 second. Pretty good, huh? We're going to take this big topper. Since you know that there's a whole poinsettia kit coming, you guys wouldn't throw away your scraps anyway. I think I know that of you. But just in case you are somebody who is willing to throw away your finishing touches when you're done, don't throw these away because they may be able to be of use in the poinsettia kit that's coming. So hang on to those a little bit and see. Now this one, you have a choice. I really, really, really like the color of this glitter paper. So instead of putting down the ring on the inside like I often do, I often put this outside frame on some foam squares, then put the center one down flush to my card, and then raise the center one. I just do that on a lot of my cards. I like the texture of doing that. This time I didn't put the silver ring in at all. I wanted that background card to show because I think that glitter paper is so pretty. So there's no law that says I have to use all the pieces. I can save this silver ring for something else. Oops. If I haven't totally bent it up, which I might have done in this case. It's just such a fragile little piece when you take it out. I think it's going to be okay. Set that aside to use for something else on another day. And I am going to go ahead and put this up on some foam squares. Now, this is glitter paper, and I usually advise if you're using foam squares on glitter paper or any other rough surface, that you put just a dab of glue on the bottom of your foam squares. This one's one of those, you can if you want to, you don't have to ones, because even though this looks very textured, it really is very smooth. So I don't really have to put glue on my foam squares of this one unless I want to. If you want to, you want that extra security, go ahead. You're going to do it what you want anyway. I'm not going to send the craft police. We're in Portland. They're all busy downtown. Sometimes Bryce just drops his head in his hands, guys. Goes, where did I find you? Oh, dear. You know, you got to laugh at life. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Those leftover sentiments are always good on your smaller projects like your tags and gift cards. And absolutely, Kim, you are right. Exactly right. You know, one of the things we did last year when we did our on-site crafters weekend is we made up boxes of gift tags to give as gifts. That was a lot of fun. We just cut our tags out of specialty paper, and we used leftover pieces like these on them. We stamped on them. We put pretty decorative napkins on them. You could just do all kinds of things. And we actually then just threaded them with some pretty cord, made some boxes using our adorable scoreboard. We made some pretty decorative boxes, and we prepared them to give as gifts. What a nice gift to give somebody. Everybody buys gift tags. Why not give people a nice pretty box of gift tags as a gift? So that was fun. Everybody really liked that project too. So it was great fun to work on. Our whole crafters weekend was really fun. Don't think we're going to be able to have one of those this year, but things to look forward to for the future. Maybe we'll have a crafty weekend. What do you guys think of that idea? That might be a little hard to arrange. I certainly can't buy you bagels. I did last year. I could send them to you, but they'd be a little stale. But it was fun. It was fun. Yeah, it could be fun.
I'm not sure YouTube will allow you to have a 24-hour crafters weekend.
You're not sure you could let me have that YouTube? Yeah, Bryce says YouTube might not let me do it, but
We could segments.
What's that?
You could do it in segments.
Yeah, we could probably that's a good idea. Maybe we could do segments. Or we could try maybe doing a virtual one on Zoom. That's another thought. Although I thought he was saying that my cameraman might not go for that. And he's over there shaking his head. My cameraman might not go for it. But we might be able to do the segmented one. That could be fun. I don't know. If you guys are up for a long weekend sometime, give me some feedback about that. I'm pretty game most of the time for things. The one nice thing about working together for a longer period of time like that is we can do projects that we can't always do in short segment classes. For example, I've been trying to figure out how we could do, I've got these wonderful MDF pen holders that are already pre-cut in wood, and I'd like to do some decoupage and painting on those. But unless we're doing something that's like, do this thing, now set that aside and let's work on something else, it would be a pretty boring class to sit and watch the paint dry. So, yeah. So maybe, let's think about that. Maybe we can, I like that idea. I think it's a fun idea to consider. I'm switching out bows here, guys. This in your kit or in your sample, this was a triple, but I somewhere changed bows when I re-glued that other card. This ends up being a double. But look at the double. The double is beautiful too. If you really want to make that ribbon, because when you see this ribbon is really special. If you really want to make that ribbon stretch, this double is quite pretty. And it really suffices to get this card done. So if you want to make doubles, you can make even more bows out of this kit than I had used. And you'll see that this color works marvelously with some of the other colors that we're doing. So look, here's our sample. Here's what we just did. Okay, so we've got those done. We've actually completed our 5 cards. Let me pull out what we've done just to kind of recap. There's enough of them, I have to clear room for them. My messiness off my mat. There's our 5 cards from this set. Now, isn't that beautiful? And I think you'll agree, if you've got this kit, that this kit was a great value for 5 cards in the kit. I don't even remember what I charged for it. $12, I think, for the kit, and $8 for the one if you already had the kit. It was great value for everything. Okay, that concludes the Poinsettia as promised. Now let's take a look at what we have coming up. I'll try. I don't know if I can do them in the order Brittany's listed them or not, because I am not sure which ones are which. I do know that the very next class coming up is one of my favorites. You guys know how I feel about deer, right? If it's got a deer on it, I love it. And those of you who have been stamping with me know that our sample cards have had, our deer are well represented. I just can't help myself, guys. I love them. So in this Thursday's class, we're going to make 3 cards, also from Craftiganza. This one, I can't tell you the name of this set off the top of my head. It's the Stag set, though, and it's from the Winter set. And this shaker card, we'll be making a 6x6 shaker card with the Stag. Isn't he magnificent? We have Snowfall Acetate in the front, a 3-part frame, tag, a 6x6 card, and he's just magnificent. Really, really beautiful. And we put some really wonderful sparkly, can you see them in there? Wonderfully sparkly elements inside. So pretty. I knew this was going to be one of the first kits that I did because I couldn't help myself. It was beautiful. Here is our next card. And I hope you can see on this one. Get that Quickie Glue Pen if you didn't get it yet. I have wonderfully detailed glittering effects in the trees and the surrounds, and actually even in the centers of the snowflakes with this stag picture right here. And this it's so tasteful, just these little glitter effects. And then I've done the same thing in the scenery over here. I put just a little snow on the trunks of the trees and a little bit of snow, just a thin line along this border between the brown area and the snow. I put just a little gleaming stripe there, a little bit in some of these tracks, deer tracks over here, a little bit along the here. I could have put, even if I wanted to, even just a little bit more in the trees if I wanted to, but then I put iridescent rhinestones here, and here. This is one of my favorite cards I've ever made. I just think it's stunning. It's beautiful. So easy and so beautiful. What did I use inside the shaker? What I used inside the shaker is confetti from Nouveau. We have several really good ones. I think I'm temporarily, don't get upset with me, but I'm temporarily out of these stars, the iridescent stars that I used inside of here. We're getting more in. It's on order right now. It's in one of the 4-packs called, what is it called? I'm looking at Bryson. He's not helping me. It's in one of my Nouveau 4-packs of sparkles. I'll link it in the newsletter, but I can tell you right now, I know that I'm temporarily out, but I should have some next week. And then I also put, it's supposed to look like snow, so I'm glad that it does. I also put some clear, some little, just slightly white tinted clear confetti in here to enhance that even further. Thank you. He went and got it for me. He's such a good guy. This kit that I took these from is called Golden Years. Golden Years. That's what the these iridescent stars, that's what they are in this. The iridescent ones you see, they're stars. So we have this card, we have this one, and here's our third. And once again, I've just done really tasteful little bits of gluing. Fine lines, no big globs, just fine lines of glittering that may or may not show on camera, but in person they're just spectacular. And that super high quality glitter that we have, the ultra glitter, it's almost a powdery consistency, guys, but it sparkles so beautifully. Then the other thing that I did that I think was really fun, I knew I was taking a risk because I knew I wanted to use this topper, but I outlined the tops and one side of my letters in glue, and then I came in and I laid that down, and it really looks like a snowy covering over the word snow in my sentiment here. I put this border down. I glittered the center of every other snowflake, and then I put iridescent rhinestones in the off one, and I put 3 iridescent rhinestones at the bottom of that. Everything's included in your kit. This also has, this is the only one I used mirror board on, but I put Rainbow Mary in the iridescent rainbow around the outside. So all of that iridescence from the glitter, from the iridescent rhinestones, and the mirror board are all playing together. So pretty. So this is Thursday night's class. It shouldn't take us too long because there's only 3 cards, but beautiful. Next up, I'm not sure if this is, which day this is, guys. I think this might be the following Thursday. I think, but I'm not sure. This could be Saturday. I don't know. I'll look at the schedule. Is the glitter hunky-dory? No. The glitter is actually some, believe it or not, when Hot Off the Press was closing out their wholesale operations, I bought 10 pounds. If you can imagine how much a 1-ounce bottle is, I bought 10 pounds of this glitter from Paulette at their warehouse sale. When it's gone, it's gone. I don't know if I'll find it again. It wasn't labeled. It didn't tell me what brand it was, but it's absolutely fabulous. I have quite a lot of it, and we sell it in the store in 2-size bottles. And every kit that we do, we're putting, every glittery kit, we're putting packets of the glitter in those. But it's really fabulous stuff. And when we're ever out, I'm going to have to go on a intensive hunt for something comparable, because now I'm spoiled and I never want to use regular glitter again. Okay, in our white Snowy Christmas, this is also from the winter set, I believe. I'm sure it is. And we are going to make 3 cards there. We have these 3. Let's take a closer look. This one is one of the soon to be listed. It's in the same box at the UPS office as our Easy Peelies. It's coming from the same company. These are those center step easel cards. So it's an easel on the bottom and a center step card on the top. And they're going to run just about the same that our ones that we used to have from Hot Off the Press did, but they did not have the easel bottom. So that's actually pretty good. They're at a good price. This time I created a shaker card, and I created it all self-contained in this under the circle die, and then I glued it onto my stepper card when I was done. And it's just marvelous. And once again, you can see, guys, it has the same kinds of confetti in it, which are included in your kits. Isn't that pretty? And then I used one of my easy Peelies inside. Now, I need to explain. For you, what's probably going to be on the inside of yours is your insert paper. But because we did such a good job of selling our Craftiganza kits, I didn't have any insert paper. Hello, Avis. Welcome, welcome. I didn't have any insert paper to use because Brittany said you only have 3 packs yet. Leave it alone till the resupply gets here. And I have to listen to my Brittany because she keeps me straight. So I used one of my easy Peelies and a leftover piece of cardstock. I think it's beautiful. So I didn't mind not having an insert for this one. Some of them I minded not having an insert for, but, you know, it doesn't matter what I mind. If I don't have them, I don't have them. This one, when I first saw it on the sheet, I was actually a little disappointed. They put a white tree on a white background, and I just wasn't sure it had enough definition. But I have to say, and I hope it comes through in yours, I have to say, when I got done glittering it, I totally love it. I totally love it. I put lots with my fine tip pen. I put glitter accents all over in the white tree and glitter accents all over in these bare trees off to the 2 sides. And now they just gleam and sparkle, and it's so beautiful. And then I used one of the little button toppers that they had has this star in it, and I just like the message of that for Christmas. So I put it's like a nativity star. I put the nativity type star at the top here and put a rhinestone in the center of that to make, once again, bring out that iridescence. In this kit, you're getting a half a sheet of the star form stickers, so you're going to get many of these Merry Christmas silvers and many of these row of trees that I've used here. And just for fun, I put 2 more iridescent rhinestones down here. Of course, your rhinestones will be included in your kit too. But I love the way that turned out now. It's funny, some of the things you start out not being sure what you think of are some of the nicest when you get done. This is probably, I really love the shaker card, but when I was working on them, this is maybe the one that I enjoyed the most because I just love the glittering. The tree's a little bit bigger, so I could really get in there with my glue bottle and I could really outline each of these branches coming out with my Quickie Glue Pen, and then get my glitter to it, and I just love the glittery surface of that. The tree off to the side here is pretty good size, so I could line all my branches and get that, you know, that bare winter tree looking beautiful, and it was great fun to make. Really, really fun to make. So this is an upcoming class yet to be determined. It is out there on the website, available for purchase now, as is the stag. And this one here is also out on the website and available for purchase. I think this might be next Saturday. And I'm saying that because this has 6 cards in it. 6 cards, guys, from one set. 6 cards, 1 set. You heard me right. Yes, looky here. Let's move these a little bit out of the way. 6 cards, 1 topper set. We'll go through these and look at them, but holy cow! We have this one. Beautiful little Potted Christmas tree with pretty ornaments in it. It's a simply made card, but very stunning in its appearance. Very, very pretty. This is one way to use those little tags they give you. Beautiful. Here's another of the green. Again, the same little potted tree, 3-part frame. This time I wrapped my red iridescent, that woven iridescent ribbon from top to bottom, and then placed my bow on my round topper. Love the way that looks. The reason I was able to get 4 cards is this all came from one sheet of Adorable Scoreable, and I made 4 A6 cards out of it. That's how come I could do this, 6 cards, one kit, because it had this beautiful snowy foiling across the top, and it had these beautiful gifts across the bottom, and everything was too pretty to give up, so I just made 4 cards out of it. This one, I've just taken my sheet of Adorable Scoreable, covered it with Mary board. Sometimes if I'm going to try and get 4, I do use mirror board to kind of expand, allow me to cut these toppers just a tiny bit littler. I put, the Nouveau is not included in this kit, but I did create some Nouveau berries with this. Now this one I was putting my thumb over, but I always show you my mistakes, so let me just tell you about it. I learned something important about Nouveau. I've usually, when I've used Nouveau, just done little single dots. I did not realize that because Nouveau is self-leveling, and when you put a dot down, it creates a dome all by itself. It makes a dome really pretty. I put 3 dots next to each other. When they self-leveled, they ran into each other. So I kind of have a little glob here. It's still pretty, and nobody would notice but me. But it kind of all becomes one berry. My 3 berries I was trying to cover. But you don't get the Nouveau in this set. We're already giving you 6 cards in envelopes. This one. Add Season's Greetings, my mirror board, 3 jewel dazzles. That's all it needed. How pretty. This one could have been a shaker if I'd wanted it to, because I have a 2-part frame. I didn't make a shaker out of it, but using that beautiful background cardstock, it's just so pretty with the toppers. Some foam squares, just putting things on it, different layers. This one, I've got my circular topper. I've raised the center of it. I've used mirror board in the back. This time I used a little Merry Christmas and a jewel. And my thought here was to kind of create a Christmas tree type shape with the jewel and then the Merry Christmas. I think it largely works. Over here I've used a corner sticker and a jewel in the center of it just to kind of finish off that corner because it looked like it needed something. I put iridescent rhinestones all the way around the ring because why not? It was pretty. I liked it. So there we go. This is also out on the website. This is 6 cards, 1 kit, and I have one more to show you. All of these are out there and available for purchase now. I encourage you as soon as you can to go ahead and get those kits so that your kit will arrive and we can work together. This one is not yet on the website. It's one of my favorites. I know I say that all the time, don't I? But it's because I do. Hello, Carol. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's nice to see you there. This is another one of my favorites from the entire Craftiganza. I just love it. This one is the Utterly Fantastic Christmas. How could you not love a cow with Christmas lights in her horns? I guess she'd have to be her. Let me show you what I did here, though. This is why these are not yet listed. We're waiting for the Nouveau drops to come in. But look here. I highlighted in 3 colors of Nouveau drops. I highlighted these bulbs. And you may not be able to see it well on camera, But this is a remarkably tactile card. It's just wonderful. You can't help yourself but to kind of run your finger over those little Christmas balls, and it just adds so much dimension in person. It's great fun. This one says, wishing you a Christmas like no other. Yeah, I love it. It's so fun. It speaks to my sense of humor. And this one, we got lots of shakers. Why? Because I love shaker cards. All things sparkly for Christmas, right? So we've got the same kinds of sparkling, wonderful confetti inside our cards. We've got our wonderful cow here. Used just a little piece of our sparkling ribbon, another one of those tags kind of off to the side. This one says party till the cows come home. And finally, and this is another place where I just need inserts. Picture this card when I open it up. You have to picture it because I don't have it yet. You have to picture having the matching insert paper inside of this one. But make a really fun border card with all of the lights. I actually trimmed this down to bring the lights in from both directions. Put all the lights on the flaps of your card. Use this really charming "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" topper in the middle and open to a matching insert on the insert paper. But I didn't have the insert paper, but you do. So you can trim a piece of insert paper and put in there, and won't that be marvelous? This kit is coming. It's coming very soon. My order with the Nouveau drops will be here in a few days. I think I have enough to go ahead and list a few kits. And we also are waiting on this ribbon to arrive. Again, I think I can come up with enough bows to get a few kits out there. But so if your kit, like you, Betty, is traveling long distance, order it sooner rather than later if you can. And that's what we have coming up. How's that, guys? I've been busy. And in addition to these, I've also been working on the cards that will not be shown on YouTube, but instead, for those of you who bought your kits from us, will be available in a download that you can download onto your own computer, look at it at your leisure, and I will be doing all of the cards from some of the kits. I can't tell you how many yet, but if you bought your Craftaganza kit from us, you get it for free. I will email you a link to download your free kit. If you did not get your card kit from us, and I understand that happens, there's times when maybe you didn't know about us, that happens. Maybe we don't ship to your area, that happens. But for those of you in UK, Australia, and other areas who may be watching this video, we will make those links available, and the designs for all of our cards will be available for purchase at a nominal charge. So that is what we've been working on. We've been busy, but having great fun doing it, and knowing that we have such appreciative people out there to keep encouraging me. And in terms of encouraging me, I just got a negative. Sorry, that makes me sad. But in terms of encouraging me, if you haven't done so yet, please hit that thumbs up and give me a thumbs up if you like these videos, you want to see them continue, you appreciate what we're bringing you. Please give me the thumbs up on our video. It makes me happy when I see those. If you accidentally put the thumbs down, please correct that. That would be wonderful. If you didn't do it accidentally, I'm sorry you didn't like it, but life's like that sometimes.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Bryce is telling me, say goodnight, Gracie. So if there's any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, please leave them in the comments. I read every comment you guys post, and I respond to every post. So, or at least I try to, unless I miss one. So give me some feedback. Give me your questions, comments. We love to see your creations on Facebook. So either post them on Facebook or you can send them to me and I'll post them on Facebook. It is just great fun to work with you guys. Love you. Thank you very much. And we will see you on Thursday night when we do the stag cards. See you then.